If you want to know what books to read on a rainy day, then stick around. Hey, what's going on, booktube on YouTube? I'm Tina and welcome to my channel. I make bookish videos for bookworms, so consider subscribing for more bookish videos. Well, New York City has been having some crazy ass storms, kind of borderlining like tornado warnings and things like that. So I'm not used to tornadoes and stuff, so yeah. So while all of that craziness is going on outside with the rain, the hail, and all the wind and all that stuff, so I decided to come up with a list of books to read on a rainy day. So without further ado, these books are in no particular order. The first book I want to share with you is one of my all-time favorite books by Caroline Kepnes, and it's called You. In this book, we follow our main character, Joe. Joe owns a bookstore where he ends up falling in love or becoming completely obsessed with one of his customers. So he starts stalking her on social media and doing a little bit more than meddling into her life. This is a psychological thriller, and we dive into the mind of Joe, who is this crazy psychopath. And one of the things I enjoyed about this book is that this book is actually written from the perspective of Joe, our main villainous character. The next book I want to share with you, which is a really quick read, something that you could read in like an hour and a half. I mean, I read it in an hour and a half. Some people could read it in an hour, but just keep in mind, I'm a slow reader. So if you are the type of person that can read quickly, you can get through this quickly. Like I said, an hour or hour and a half. And the book I'm talking about is Long Way Down. Isn't this cool? Oh, you like that, right? Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. In this book, we follow a teenager named Will. Will's brother just got killed and he got shot. So Will and all the men in his family live by 3 rules. Don't cry, don't snitch, and if somebody you love gets killed, you kill the person that killed them. And that's crazy. I don't know, it's not too far along in the book, and then you start coming up to a point where he gets in the elevator. Now, in my opinion, that's where the story begins to take shape. And this book here is just 60 seconds of him in the elevator and the people who come in and people who go out the elevator and the things that he's feeling and the things that he's seeing. So yeah, this whole book is 60 seconds in the elevator as he's going down to try to find his brother's killer. I suggest you check it out if you want something quick to read. Maybe the rainstorm won't be done by then, but you never know. Oh, and by the way, this book is actually written in verse, which is really cool. So it's kind of like reading poems on almost every page. Or I should say on every page, it's kind of like a poem. So if you're into that type of thing, you might like this book. The next book I think is really cool to read on a rainy day. Is one of my favorites. It's one of the first books I read, you know, when I started booktube. And it's called The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Let me tell you, there is crazy, hot tension in this book, okay? And I love this book. I annotated all up in this book. I don't even know if you can see all the scribbles, the lines, and all the craziness that I got written in here. But yeah, your girl had opinions, okay? So Lucy and Joshua are actually co-workers that really hate each other. And I'm talking about really hate each other. And they are up for the same promotion. Now, this is one of them books that has the trope, you know, haters become lovers, you know, things like that. But do they really? That's for you to find out. I suggest you read this book. It is so good. Here's another book that some people may consider a classic, and it's one of the very first Harry Potter books, and guess what? It is the very first Harry Potter book, and it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. If you're from the UK, maybe you have the Philosopher's Stone instead, but either way, it's pretty much the same story. I'm not gonna go into who Harry Potter was, even though he was a wizard. But I'm not gonna really go into like the story because this is the very first one. The very first one, and it is such a fun read. A lot of it is actually like the movie. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. But it's fun to read because you picture things in your own imagination, even with seeing the movie, at least I think. Yeah, this is a really good book. You should read this on a rainy day. Here's a fun book that I read, and it's by Jenny Han, and it's called To All the Boys I Loved Before. Freaking story of my life. Anyway, so To All the Boys I Loved Before, this girl here, Lara Jean had a bunch of loves of her life, and she actually wrote letters to them, love letters. Deep, soulful letters to these guys. And what she did was she ended up putting them in a box and she hid them in her closet. Guess what? Yeah, them letters, they got mailed out somehow. And all these guys, they got the letters. And she's like mortified. So who the heck sent them letters out? That's for you to find out, because she's trying to find out too. So, I mean, this book was fun to read. It was also kind of mysterious to figure out who sent those letters out, even though I kind of had an idea. But, you know, that's for you to read. Anyway, check this out. I'm so excited because I'm actually going to meet Jenny Han at BookCon this year. And I'm going to try to get this book signed. Hopefully, you know, she could sign it for me and I'll have a signed book. Another book I want to share with you is called One Way by Jeff Lane. It's a book that I raved about for a long time because this book is one of those that just gets stuck in your mind, and it's got time travel. It's got kind of a sci-fi kind of aspect to it, but it's not like a crazy scientific aspect to it. It's so good. And our main character is Barry, and the crazy thing is that Barry's supposed to die on that night, you know, in the story, in the time in the story. So he's supposed to die, but, you know, certain things happen. He was supposed to get murdered. So now he's running for his life. And this book is just like a crazy adventure. It has time travel aspect. And it's a story of love, of fight for survival, adventure, and just interesting. And it just kind of like breaks your heart. I really don't want to fully get into it, but it's a book you definitely got to read. The author's name is Jeff Lane, and it was definitely a page turner. The next book I want to share with you is another book that I think you would enjoy during, you know, a rainstorm or maybe any other time. It don't matter, but this is for rainstorm books. I'm gonna hook you up. This is a book called Sadie by Courtney Summers, and Sadie has gone missing because, you know, her sister just got murdered. So now Sadie's missing. So where the heck is Sadie now? You know, everybody's just going nuts in this town. I really don't want to give too much information about this book because I think Sadie is one of those books that is really good to just go in blind the way I did and just enjoy the story for what it was. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more bookish videos. Take care, and I will catch you on my next video. Later.